Ooh, that one felt nice. YouTube, what is up? We are back with another day, and we got some heavy Fridays, although today is not crazy heavy. We got 220 to 225 on the snatches for 3 sets of 1, and 300 pounds on the cleans. Gonna try and power those cleans today if we got the juice in us. And then next week, the program starts back up again and we get after, and it's probably gonna be a brutal week. The first couple weeks of every max program I've run, every program like comes out in like little 10 to 12 week segments. And those first couple weeks are absolutely nasty. And we'll probably have to squat fucking 3x10 again tomorrow or next week and hate myself. So we're gonna enjoy today and this week and the end of this week and get after it. Starting today off with some depth drop broads, an approach vertical, and we're gonna test our RSI today just because I was watching a wheel over tail video on the RSI and our jump mat's working and it sounds like it'd be fun. So we're gonna do that today. It's starting to get a little bit colder outside. And if you want a Yoakum Strength beanie or a Yoakum Strength crew neck, look at that baby. Look how cool it is. Oh, I got my edgy ass necklace on. But check out the link for our clothing in the bio. I don't make much money off the clothing. I just want you repping the Yoakum Strength gear when winter comes. So let's get after it. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, the legs are fucking cooked from yesterday's sprints. They are sore. All I've been doing is jumps. And they feel like I did like 40 sets of squats yesterday. Oh my God, we're gonna have to wake up. I was not expecting this level of soreness today. I really thought we were gonna feel good today. We feel a little beat up, but we got these 4-way lateral hops here. So I was just gonna do depth drops into a broad jump, but I got a pretty nasty cut on my foot. And when I was doing the depth drop into the broad jump, it was kind of cutting it up. Maybe I'll show the photo and give you guys some foot porn on the YouTube here, but it's not feeling great. It cut from my cleat yesterday because they're just shitty old cleats. But so we switched this up to a 4-way lateral jump. It's feeling a little bit better on the foot. Feels like there's less like slippage of the foot that's causing it to like cut more into that foot. And the legs were sore, so I didn't think there was gonna be a depth drop PR today, but we're dropping off lateral, we're jumping lateral, switching sides, dropping off lateral, jumping lateral. Then we're gonna come back to this way, drop off lateral and flip, and then we'll drop off the other way and flip. And this is our third set here, let's go. When you do your depth drop broad jumps, especially when you're competing, just have a cone to where your foot has to take off before, otherwise athletes just start to yeet themselves off the box instead of drop themselves off the box. Give them some space to be an athlete off the box and set themselves up. But if you actually want a measurement and compete, you have to have a first cone there. So first cone's for that, second cone's for the PR. Let's go. Ooh, that was sick. Well done, Austin. I feel like I'm floating laterally. I wish I get this feel floating forward. Ooh, same spot. Then we'll come back this way and hit our flips. Same thing. Ooh, ooh, little PR on that one. Ooh. Boom, let's go, get to some approach. So the first issue we're battling today was already covered, which is the legs feel like a pile of crap. The second issue is, although the jump mat is working, I wish I could show you guys the screen. I try to put it up in front of the camera, it just shows up as flickering. But the left side of the screen is completely dead. Like the bottom half you have, it looks like the screen still works, and the top half, the screen is completely dead, like there's no batteries in it, but just the right side works. And the left side is where the RSI number is on these, so I can't do my RSI on this jump mat. And we just gotta stick to approach jumps, because all the ground contact time and the RSI scores are on the left side of the screen. The only thing that's on the right side of the screen is the vertical jumps. At least we can get our verticals in, but this jump mat continues to piss me off. Let's go. Ooh, come on. 31-0, decent start. My earliest best was a 31-6. Both of them are pretty pitiful for an approach jump, but legs are cooked right now. Ooh, 31-7. All right, gotta break 32, either on an approach or a regular jump today. I think my highest like standing vert the other day was like a 31-6. It's pretty pitiful. Let's go. Oh, come on. There we go. 33-3. One more hard one like that. Oh, come on. 33-6. Send it for one more. I was not expecting that one to be good. That one kind of felt shit. Oh, come on. 33-2. All right, 3 33s in a row. Let's get to some snatches. All right, now we got some snatches. We're building up to 220 to 225-ish. I'll probably start my first set at 220. I really want to get full snatches today. If I get a couple 225 full snatches, that'd be sweet. Let's get this warm up. Let's go. Warm-ups felt pretty good, but legs are like weirdly sore. I didn't feel very good at the end of yesterday's workout. And I'm kind of wondering if it's from giving blood or something along those lines. I've been eating good, I've been sleeping good. Haven't really had a ton of stressors. I had softball last night, that was super easy, and we only played 1.5 games because we got lightninged on. But we were hitting nukes there, and it wasn't a ton of sprinting. But the legs feel like weirdly sore, and I wonder if that's what it's from. Now we got 220 on the bar. We're gonna hit this for a set. If it's feeling good, we're gonna go to 225 for 2 sets and rip from there. Let's get it. Ooh, let's go. Clean. Got set number 2 here, 225 on the bar. Goal is to make the next 2 singies as crispy as that first singy. That one felt nice. I was asked the question in this week's Q&A, if I don't warm up before I lift, and I think the question is because I haven't been showing any of my warm-ups or any of the mobility stuff or like movement variability stuff I've been doing my training on the YouTube. And truthfully, that's strictly because I'm just such a little bitch when it comes to starting a workout. Every day when I get here, I'm telling you, it's like getting a teenager out of bed is like getting me ready to lift. I walk in, I wander around, I waste so much freaking time trying to get myself mentally prepped to lift. And as soon as I start up, I'm good. But the first probably 20 minutes of me being here is just moving around, getting some blood into the body, and trying to get mentally ripe. So pretty much every day I'm hitting some sort of dead hangs for 1 to 2 minutes. I'm hitting that preacher stretch. I'm hitting a lot of band dislocates. Some days we're busting out the gymnastics mat and hitting some rolls. A lot of deep tier plyos and just plyos in general. Some hip mobility stuff, some hip stretches. Maybe a couch stretch here and there. Sometimes I spend a lot of time on the feet and I'm doing like a lot of balance beam stuff. But the only reason I don't record that is just because my mind is not in it at that time. I'm just trying to wake myself up and get going. But we do warm up. We do a lot of the Oakham strength movement-based stuff as our warm-up. We are hitting our mobility before we come and train. It's not that I just hop in here every day. It's just I haven't been recording it because it's pretty much the same thing every day. Then once that's all done, then I kind of count the jumps and sprints as a part of my warm-up too, because that's the first like athletic movement of the day that finally gets me feeling like I'm awake and it's time to train. I definitely count that as a part of my warm-up. And then we'll also hit warm-ups with the barbells that aren't recorded. Today I recorded the build-up. But typically we're warming up for like a minute with the empty barbell. Then we have 15s, then we have 25s, then we have 45s. And I kind of just have an approach there where I'm just trying to get a feel with that barbell in the warm-ups, especially when it's a snatch. And we'll kind of rip that for 5 to 10-ish minutes as we're building up to our weight for the day. So I do warm up, I just don't record because I'm kind of a pussy when it comes to starting workouts. Once I get rolling again, I'm the master of going and going hard. But like getting myself motivated to get going, it's every single day, like trying to get out of bed. I feel like such a bum. Even on days when I'm excited, it's so stupid. It's just like the body being like, oh, you're gonna put me through this again? Like, let's slow you down. And you gotta talk the body and tell it, yeah, it's time to go. It's time to get it some juice. So let's get the second set here, let's go. Ooh. Woo. All right, third and final set here. I'm liking how these are feeling. I'm jumping and traveling a little bit too far forward for my liking. Dozer just put out a video that if you're jumping backwards, it's because it's a reaction to being too far over the bar, but he also mentioned that it could be why you're jumping forward, and I think that's what's happening. I feel like my shoulders are just a little bit too far over the bar. He talked about how the forward action creates a backward action, which I think is like just slingshotting me forward. It's almost like a broad jump with that snatch. So I'm gonna try and think just a little bit more upright here. I'm not gonna focus too hard on it just because it is 225 and probably not the time to learn. It's been something I've been building up in my warm-ups as well, but that's the focus here. Let's go. Ooh, that one felt nice. I definitely jumped forward, but got in a full squat there. That was nice. Let's get to some cleans. Now we got our 3 powers here. Supposed to be powers, 305. We'll see. 275 did not move the way 275. I was hoping it would move today. We were supposed to hit 300, but I just slapped the 15s on, made it 305. Should be a pretty fun ride. We got 3 sets here. Let's go. Oh, that's pretty good. Let's go. All right, set number 2 here. We got the power on the first one, which is nice. It was just slow and a little sloppy. Be a little bit more explosive on this. Let's go. Oh, shit, it was higher. Just letting it too far forward. Can't get underneath it. That's gross. Before we hit this last set, we're going to answer the last question of this YouTube, which is, do you repeat any jumps or games on a weekly basis to let them see some improvements, or is it all just random? And we have weekly testing on the jump mat. So we do a weekly vertical jump every Tuesday and then a weekly approach jump every Thursday. We will track their broad jump, their double broad jump, their triple broad jump, and we will track their fly 10s and various starts. So a 10-meter start, a 20-yard dash, those type of things to provide some sort of constant for the athletes. And we also have the weight room to provide that as well with their strength numbers. But just to give them a piece of information to show that they're making progress. And I don't even really think it's necessary, and I'll rant about that next week. There's a tweet that pissed me off off that I really want to go off on, but we're not going to go off on it today. The gist of it is if the athlete's feeling better and moving better, that's the progress we're looking for. But after those constants, we kind of cycle all of our other variations. So like those lateral forward broad jumps, different variations of Blaine broad jumps, 1,000 different vertical jump variations, things like that. And the true goal for those things that aren't like a direct on-field KPI, which are really the only things that matter. Let's say for baseball, it's like your batting average and your exit velo. Like those are the KPIs that matter. If those things are going up, we're doing our job in here. So then the rest of it, it gives us a wide approach to have a varied approach to training. And when we cycle all of these things, our goal with the varied approach to training and the variety that we have is the PR on these different variations. So we're still writing them down and marking what we got on them. But our goal is to PR without training for them. And and the goal is progress without repetition. Because I don't believe in repping something that doesn't have a carryover, specific carryover to the field. Like the athletes have enough repetition in the technique and their technical and tactical skills that are required on the field, that I'd much rather just be very global here. And I think a lot of times when you have KPIs in your gym that you feel like matter, it just turns into a rep game of getting better at those KPIs rather than getting better at the thing that matters, which is the field, and preparing them for the thing that gets them better. And I think we kind of overestimate how important we are with some of these KPIs and how important these KPIs are so that we can say we showed progress. And we train these athletes to PR in these KPIs rather than PRing on the field, which is what matters to me. I don't think there's a massive difference in there. I just think it's a slight philosophical tweak in your programming. It gives you way more freedom to program and train your athletes generally. And I think when you have all these KPIs in your program, so many parts of your program just become stuck in stone because you're constantly testing and testing and testing and repping and repping and repping to improve these things in the gym that really don't have a carryover, right? Like if you're doing a broad jump versus a double broad jump versus a depth drop broad jump, like each gym can pick one singular jump variation there as their KPI metric that they want to measure. None of them are going to be more important than the other one. So why not just train them all and train variously and prepare the athletes better for the field of play and keep training way more fun. So that's kind of how we approach that. We give them some metrics that are constant just so they can have that gamification type feel of training. And then we really try to progress without repetition on everything else that we're doing, right? So let's get this third set here. Let's go. Oh, ew. God dang it. That happens when the rants get too long. Just take too long of a break and you lose the feel of the bar. But really on those cleans, like with the snatches, I'm struggling hitting it off my hips too much and like humping it out. And the cleans, I feel like I'm missing them. And like that one I hit way too low on the quad, and the other two I was trying to avoid that and bring it into the hips. So then I was watching the videos, I was making no contact with the bar and then having to catch up with it with my wrist. And we gotta find a good balance between those two to where we can get it right on the top of that thigh and then use a little contact so I don't have to catch up with it as much with my hands. But that was a pretty good training day. We went 6 for 6 on our lifts. We got some good jumps in. We'll be back on Monday. Let's go. Appreciate you guys watching. Keep chopping wood.